Hey guys, good morning. It's 8:15, Friday, April 3rd, and let's get right down to it. After reflecting upon what I've posted so far regarding mole calculations, there's one section that at the honors level I'd like you to know. I'm going to show you a problem where you can convert grams of a compound all the way to grams of an element within that compound. And then I'm going to end this hopefully short video with percent composition, show you a couple examples of that, so you can continue working on chapter 7 problems. Okay, on page 204 of your textbook, this is sample problem 7.6. I did not write out the entire problem. You can refer to your textbook because you should have one at home. It basically talks about hot packs. Hot packs are those, they're obviously the opposite of cold packs, where they have inside a plastic bag a certain amount of calcium chloride, CaCl2. And there's water also in this plastic bag. And when you break the inner bag that has the water in it, it mixes with the CaCl2, the calcium chloride, and releases heat, thus the hot pack. Here's the chemistry question. How many grams of chlorine are in 10.2 grams of CaCl2? Here's our compound. We want to know how many grams of Cl there are. We have grams of a compound. We need to go to grams of an element. We have to go through moles, just like my high school chemistry teacher said, when you're stuck, get it into moles. So what it's going to look like is we're going to start with this initial measurement of our compound, then we're going to get it into moles using, hopefully you know by now, the molar mass. We're going to add up Ca and 2 Cl's from the periodic table and get a molar mass. And then we're going to convert from moles of the compound to moles of a single element. One thing that I want to make sure everyone knows, when you see a chemical formula like this is showing a Ca and 2 Cl's. That's what it looks like if it's a single unit. But you could have an entire mole of this stuff. If you had an entire mole of this, you would still have 1 mole of Ca and 2 moles of Cl. So this chemical formula allows us to convert from an entire compound to a single element. Okay, I had to pause that because I forgot the molar mass of CaCl2. I didn't have it off the top of my head. So let's do this. Let's do this entire solution. It's multi-step, but we can do it all at once. We're going to start with our initial measurement, 10.2 grams of CaCl2. Going to put that over 1. There's our initial measurement. We're going to get grams of calcium chloride into moles using the molar mass. Bring down grams of CaCl2. This is why it's so important to label, because we're going to be going from a compound to a single element. Grams of CaCl2, we're going to do 1 mole. Every mole of CaCl2, the molar mass added from the periodic table, if you look at the box, 1 calcium and 2 chlorines, it has a molar mass of 110.98 grams per 1 mole. So now that cancels out grams, and we're in moles of CaCl2. We don't want CaCl2 in our final answer, we want Cl. So this next step is new. This is why I'm posting this. This is a mole to mole ratio from CaCl2 to Cl. We can bring down moles of CaCl2, our labeled unit. Moles of CaCl2, I have to write smaller because I'm going to run out of room. This is new. We can go from moles of CaCl2 to moles of Cl. Remember, we have a nice chemical formula here. We could say if we had 1 mole of CaCl2, we would have 2 moles of Cl. It's a 1 to 2 ratio. And again, I'm happy that you can refer back to this video. I'll try to make it quick. Lastly, by the way, sorry, moles of CaCl2 cancels out. We have moles of Cl, but we want grams of Cl. So we're going to go from moles, bring it down into grams using the molar mass of chlorine from the periodic table. Last fraction, bring down moles of Cl. Please, this is important right here. A lot of students think that they need to bring this number down with it. The 2 is already taken care of in this fraction. When we're finding the molar mass of something, we're finding the mass of 1 mole of that substance. So we're going to set the mole here to 1. The periodic table tells you for every 1 mole of Cl, there are 35.45 grams of Cl. Moles of Cl, that cancels out. And now you simply have to do the math. Some of you like to multiply across the top, get a number, then you would divide by 110.98. If you wanted to use the shortcut that I've used in class, here's what I would do, and I will give you the final answer. 10.2 divided by 110.98 times 2 times 35.45, and you should get for an answer, this is right in your textbook, 6.52 grams of chlorine. So what that tells us is that in a hot pack with calcium chloride salt, there's 6.52 grams of chlorine, and the rest of it would be calcium.